All right, hey guys, welcome to the video. If you're new here, my name is Curtis, and today we're going to be talking about some fragrances that give off a dark and mysterious type of vibe. And also, they work really well when you're wearing a leather jacket. So I've gone through my collection and picked 5 fragrances that fit the bill perfectly. So if you're curious to see the fragrances that I've chosen, then let's go. First up, from the house of Paris Monte Carlo, we have Oud Imperial. So this one is oud with a whole lot of character. It's dark, woody, smoky, earthy, and even slightly medicinal. And when this one moves into the dry down, you get quite a bit of smoke and leather that start to push forward. But man, it is such a gorgeous and unique wearing experience for me. And this one was perfumed by one of my favorite perfumers, Luca Maffei. He's also perfumed one of my other favorite fragrances from the house of Paris Monte Carlo, called Rose de Taif Extrait, and that is a gorgeous one. For any of you guys who love rose fragrances, you should definitely check that one out. But yeah, back to this fragrance. This is such a dark, and unique, bold wearing experience. When you walk in the room, it's just like, okay, this guy means business. This is a I'm not playing around type of fragrance. So you wear this one when you definitely want to make a statement and maybe want to give off quite a dominant presence. I feel like this is the perfect fragrance for that. But this is definitely a cold weather fragrance. I would probably stay away from a fragrance like this, in the summer months. But to each his own, do what you like. But this one is unisex, but it really pushes over to the masculine side of things. But yeah, this is a fragrance that I wear, kind of like when I'm wearing a leather jacket just like this. I feel like it just fits the mood and the setting and the vibe perfectly. So if you can, get yourself a sample of Oud Imperial by Paris Monte Carlo. Next up, from the house of Materia Premiere, we have Falcon Leather. Man, so this one is smoky, ambery, leathery, and slightly metallic, but it's such a gorgeous and intoxicating wearing experience. You get a slight bit of fruits in here. It almost has a slight fruitiness upon the initial spray, but this one dries down to such a beautiful, leathery, and almost kind of slightly oudy smelling leather fragrance. It's not oudy or kind of like that barnyardy or skanky type of oudiness, or leather can also give off kind of like an animalic type of feeling. You might get a little bit of that, but for me, it's not off-putting by any means. I absolutely love the wearing experience of this one, but what I'll say with this one is less is more. This one is beastly. Performance is crazy with this, so, less is more, but feel free to spray as much as you like. We all enjoy different wearing experiences. I'm the type that is 1 or 2 sprays with this, and that for me works a treat. But this fragrance, in my opinion, definitely leans masculine. It's unisex, but again, this one pushes quite heavily over to the masculine side of things, but it is a sexy wearing experience. And if you are wearing this and you're giving off the right atmosphere and vibe, you're looking the part and you're feeling great, this one, I'm telling you, brings in some compliments. But it is a rough and rugged type of scent. So, if you're someone who doesn't necessarily like loud fragrances or fragrances that are quite edgy, then you may want to stay away from this one. But I really, really enjoy the wearing experience here. And it is definitely, in my opinion, probably the best one from the house of Materia Premiere. So if you can, get yourself a sample of Falcon Leather by Materia Premiere. Next up, from the house of Javoy, we have Psychedelic. So yeah, talking about rough and rugged, this is a patchouli bomb in your face. It is very deep, slightly dark, earthy patchouli, but it has an ambery tone to it. So this patchouli gives off definitely like that chocolatey, cakey type of vibe. There's a lot of ambery notes in here, a bit of vanilla to help kind of sweeten things up a little bit. But this is such a gorgeous, and probably in my humble opinion, the best patchouli scent out there that you can get. It's just such a beautiful, beautiful wear. One thing I'll say, if you're not accustomed to the note of patchouli, you may want to kind of ease into this fragrance, go easy on the sprays, or go with a patchouli that's a bit more easier to wear. Maybe something like Persephone's Patchouli by Electimus. That's quite an easy patchouli to wear in my humble opinion. But like I said before, this is definitely dark and earthy. So you get that kind of very natural smelling, lively patchouli smell here, which to some people can be a bit off-putting, but man, I love it. And like I said before, it's just combined with those ambery notes to help sweeten this up a little bit, give it a bit more depth in character. But man, this one works so well. But this is a beefy fragrance. So again, to each his own. For me, I do maybe 2 to 3 sprays with this one, and that's all I need. But yeah, I do love this. The sillage is absolutely gorgeous. One thing that I really enjoy about fragrances is that when you spray this one on, you smell it up close, you smell that earthiness, like that soil, that damp richness. That's what you smell. But in the air, you can smell that, but it's toned down and you smell those ambery notes, and it just makes this such a gorgeous experience. Others don't experience fragrance when they're smelling it up to their nose like this. They experience it in the air. So, they're experiencing pure heaven. I'm telling you, that's what this fragrance is. Yeah, this is a gorgeous one from the House of Javoy, and definitely one to check out. So if you can, get yourself a sample of Psychedelic by Javoy. Next up, from the House of Jeroboam, we have Vespero. This is a fragrance that just exudes confidence. It is the perfect contrast between light and dark. So to give you an idea, this fragrance kind of dips down that Aventus DNA path, but like I said before, it's so non-linear. You spray this one on, you're getting some bright, crisp kind of fruits, apples I think it is, and then when you start to move into the dry down, this is when that fragrance kind of flips. You get this dark, smoky type of leathery tone while still maintaining that bit of freshness. But man, it just makes for a gorgeous wearing experience. And I'll tell you this, every time I wear this fragrance, I get compliments from somebody, strangers who I don't know. People just enjoy the smell of this one. And even in Japan, where, fragrance isn't so, I guess, common, people give compliments with this one. Everybody loves the smell of this. Yeah, it just works. And this one does have that leather in it. So when you're wearing a leather jacket, and you also, you want to give off kind of a dark vibe, but also kind of have that crisp kind of freshness about you, this is the fragrance to wear. It just works a treat. And yeah, I love the wearing experience here. And Jeroboam is a sister company to Javoy. So I just talked about Psychedelic from Javoy. Jeroboam is a sister company. Javoy gets a lot of hype in the fragrance community. In Jeroboam, you just don't hear a lot of people talking about this house in general, but they perfume 30 ml extrait de parfum concentrations. Yeah, and I just like these little bottle sizes. I mean, you don't need a whole lot of sprays with this, so 30 mils will actually last you quite a long time. Typically when I wear these fragrances from Jeroboam, I usually do 2 to 3 sprays, depending on where I'm going, and it just works a treat. Such an underrated house in my opinion. Every single fragrance I own from Jeroboam is just unique, and they perform well, and just the quality is there. So yeah, you should definitely check them out. But yeah, this is a great one, and one of my favorites from the house. So if you can, get yourself a sample of Vespero by Jeroboam. And finally, from the house of Nishane, we have Credo. So this one's just very robust, deep, thick, woody, and it has a slight creaminess about it. And this one kind of pushes along the lines of Tom Ford Oud Wood, but Nishane has done more of a niche take on, I guess, that style of fragrance. And man, they've done it so well. This one is definitely masculine leaning. Again, unisex, women can definitely wear it, but pushing more over to that masculine side of things. But it is such a gorgeous wear. You have that very well blended, very subtle oud and suede combination that just results in a very intelligent, dark and mysterious smelling fragrance that, yeah, I absolutely love. And this is an underrated one from the House of Nichane, in my opinion. I know some people probably are like, oh, it's an inspired take on Tom Ford Wood, but it is a different take. It's definitely not a clone, that's for sure. It's Nichane's own take on, I think, that style of DNA, but they've just done it so well. You just don't hear a whole lot of people talking about Credo. Yeah, it's definitely underrated in my opinion, and I absolutely love it. And what gives this one a slight sexiness as well is you get that blast of cardamom in the top. And cardamom's a note when used in perfumery that just, gives off the vibe of sexiness, in my opinion. I feel like cardamom does that job so well, and you definitely get that, especially in the opening of this fragrance. But yeah, this is a good one. I love the experience from beginning to end, so you should definitely check it out. So if you can, get yourself a sample of Credo by Nichane. Alright guys, so that's all I have for you for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed today's content, and let me know down in the comment section, do you know any of the fragrances that I've shown you today, and what are your thoughts and opinions on them? I'd love to hear them. Well, I hope you guys are staying healthy and well, and I'll see you in the next video.